My ferritin used to be 5, right now is around 50, and I'm aiming for 100, so to get there, I am still supplementing, yes, but I also need to completely rethink how I eat, and this salad is actually part of that rethinking. For anyone dealing with iron deficiency, it contains at least 9 milligrams of plant-based iron, which is exactly half of the 18 milligrams daily requirement for premenopausal women, so 100% of it if you are a man or a postmenopausal woman. I designed it for maximum nutrient absorption and for days where you really don't want or don't have time to cook, okay? Please note that this won't replace your supplements, but it's exactly the kind of meal that supports your levels long term. But before we make it together, I know some of you are thinking, wait, 18 milligrams, that's not enough if you're on a plant-based diet. And you are right, because the traditional guidelines apply a 1.8 multiplier for those on the plant-based diet, pushing that target to 32 milligrams. Because plant iron, so non-heme iron, is harder to absorb. But here's the game changer. There is a study that found that just 50 milligrams of vitamin C is enough to double or even triple your plant iron absorption, and by consequence, closing the gap with a traditional mixed diet. This means that if you optimize your absorption like this, having enough vitamin C, avoiding coffee around meals, or soaking your grains, your beans, and your seeds, you may not need to eat double the iron. And that's exactly what this salad does. Again, I'm not a doctor, okay? I'm just sharing what I'm learning. So if you still want to aim 32 milligrams per day of iron, please go for it. I mean, honestly, it can only be beneficial, especially if you're deficient. This salad will definitely help you get you there. You will just need to eat it 3 times. Let's make it. This salad contains very simple ingredients. The full recipe, the exact quantities, the iron breakdown will be on my Substack. Link is below. Making it made me realize that hitting these 9 milligrams in one meal is totally doable. By the way, the 9 milligrams per meal, it's a target I set for myself just because I eat mostly 2 meals a day. So I thought if I can eat half of my daily requirement per meal, that would be great. And if I have a third meal, then that would be a bonus. But anyways, I figure out it's all about making selective choices at the supermarket. But look at this swap. So instead of the lettuce, you go with this Feldsalat, so lamb's lettuce. Instead of the olive oil, you use tahini. You swap the croutons with highly nutritious seeds. And instead of the pasta, you go with beans. And look at the iron content difference, guys. Look at this. Okay, so let's wash the lamb's lettuce. I'm cutting the roots because it's easier to eat that way. So for a serving, I'm using 100 grams. Did you know that it's called lamb's lettuce because of its resemblance with a lamb's tongue? This lettuce is very easy to find in Germany, but I can understand that some of you might not have access to it. So baby kale or kale in general is also a very good option. And if you can't find either of these, just use whatever leafy green you have access to and compensate by adding a little bit more iron-rich ingredients like the beans and seeds that we will add later. I actually first made this salad with raw spinach. It was very good, but I felt a little bit off. Then I looked up and I found out that spinach is actually very high in oxalates, which can actually reduce mineral absorption, which is really not the goal of this video. That's why I switched to that lamb's lettuce. It's lower in oxalates and rich in both iron and vitamin C. Honestly, win-win. Lesson learned the hard way as always. And so next we're going to add the white beans. So half a cup is enough, but feel free to add more. I'm just creating a normal serving size here. And now it's time to boost it with vitamin C. So vitamin C is what makes the iron absorption most efficient, remember? So we aim for at least 50 milligrams per meal. We already have some from the lamb's lettuce base, 35 milligrams, wow. But we're going to top it up with this red bell pepper. Okay, let's cut it. It's funny because bell pepper is one of my least favorite vegetables, right up there with cucumber. But when I found out that a quarter of one gives you 40 milligrams of vitamin C, I made peace with it. Then you add the tomato. So I bought those sun-dried ones from a sealed bag, so it's oil-free, and they are called snack tomatoes. Yeah, in this salad, it's actually great. They bring a very beautiful acidity touch and an interesting texture to the mix. So I'm just roughly cutting them. At this stage, we are more than covered when it comes to vitamin C, but we still have room for more iron. and it's all right here. Can you believe it? A mix of pumpkin, sunflower, and hemp seeds. Combining 1 tablespoon of each gives you a massive 2.7 milligrams of iron. Amazing, right? To reduce anti-nutrients here, I soaked my pumpkin and sunflower seeds overnight with a splash of apple cider vinegar. I'm just going to rinse them now and add them to the salad. But even soaking them for 2 hours is already good. And the hemp seeds, they don't need soaking at all. Pro tip, you can actually blend the pumpkin and the sunflower seeds into a powder, then add the hemp seeds and keep it in a little jar on your counter or in the fridge. And just 1 tablespoon sprinkled on anything gives you about 1 milligram of iron on your morning bowl, your soups, your smoothies, whatever you want. That's a super easy iron boost, don't you think? Now for the dressing. So instead of the olive oil, we are going to use tahini, right? So 1 tablespoon of tahini provide 1.4 milligrams of iron. Then I'm adding my fresh lemon juice, 1 to 2 tablespoons. I'm adding 2, and this gives us even more vitamin C, about 12 milligrams. And then we add water. So you start with 1 tablespoon, okay? And you can just adjust the consistency with more water if you want later. Then add 1 tablespoon of nutritional yeast. That's another 0.5 milligram of iron. And now I'm adding a bit more water because, yeah, the nutritional yeast kind of thickens up everything. Then the spices and the aromatics, honestly, do whatever you want. So I'm using garlic powder, date powder, salt, pepper, and a little bit of cayenne if you like it spicy. I actually don't really measure. Have fun with the seasoning, honestly. Start with a 1/4 teaspoon and adjust it to your liking. Mix, 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 and then you can add the dressing to the bowl. But if you really want to know my exact mix, I'll put it on my Substack. Yeah, I'm measuring just for you. Mix everything again. In fact, I'm adjusting my seasoning after tasting the salad. I'm adding some pepper, nutritional yeast, garlic powder, salt directly in the bowl. And voila! Can you believe that this single bowl has approximately 10 milligrams of iron, which clears our 9 milligrams target, coming from the beans, the salad, from the seeds. And the vitamin C, we have about 90 milligrams of it from the pepper, the tomato, the lemon, the salad. So we are way above the 50 milligrams needed to maximize your iron absorption. Delicious, really. I assume you are watching this because you might be dealing with low iron yourself. What's your current level? As I said at the beginning, mine was 5 and now it's around 50. There's still room for improvement, but we are getting there. Anyways, that's our salad. Very proud of it. Healthy eating doesn't need to be complicated or time-consuming. I'm actually very impressed. The biggest takeaway, think vitamin C. I mean, it could be as simple as just squeezing some lemon on your food, or having some lemon water, or having some berries as a dessert, something like that. Yeah, every time I eat now, I think vitamin C. I'm officially obsessed. All right, guys, so bon appétit. Let me know if you make it, and I'll see you the next one. Bye.